Hello and welcome to Riyadh. Saudi Arabia has a relatively young history of passenger railways. Today I'm going to travel on its newly launched overnight service from Riyadh to Qurayyat. I expect their private sleeper cabins to be clean, modern and comfortable. I'm excited to try them out. Let's go!
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, situated on the Arabian Peninsula in the Middle East, is the birthplace of Islam. Riyadh is the country's capital and largest city, with a population of over 7 million. Before 2018, Saudi Arabia only allowed foreign individuals visiting for specific purposes to enter the country, such as religious pilgrimages or business-related matters. With e-tourist visa being introduced for the first time in 2019, citizens of many nations can now visit this mysterious country purely for tourism purposes. I am very excited about this trip. Modern railways were first introduced in Saudi Arabia after World War II to mainly facilitate oil transport. Passenger rails only became popular in recent years. Currently, there are 3 passenger train lines in the kingdom. The Riyadh to Dammam line was opened in 1981, connecting the capital with the port city of Dammam. The Haramain high-speed railway, opened in 2018, connects Jeddah with the holy cities of Medina and Mecca. And finally, tonight I'll be traveling on the 1,242-kilometer-long north-south line, connecting the capital to the border with Jordan. The first service from Riyadh to Qurayyat commenced in 2022. Riyadh has 2 railway stations. Trains to Dammam leave from Riyadh East Station, while the newly built Riyadh North Station is a departure point for services heading to Qurayyat. Located approximately 30 kilometers from the city center, this new station lacks public transport options. I had to catch an Uber to get here. The station resembles an airport terminal, with the entry for departures on the left and the exit for arrivals on the right. Once inside, you can easily navigate by following the bilingual signage. Train tickets can be booked at the station, over the phone and online via Saudi Arabia Railways official website or mobile app. Sales typically commence 40 days in advance. On the train to Qurayyat, there are 3 travel classes available. Similar to catching a flight, passengers can check in their suitcases. The allowance for economy class passengers is 1 piece of luggage weighing no more than 25 kilos, while for business and private cabin passengers are 32 kilos. The counter closes 20 minutes before departure. If you happen to arrive at the station too early, you'll find several cafes and restaurants. As the boarding time approaches, passengers can proceed to the waiting room through the ticket checking counters. There is a priority lane for business and private cabin passengers. Once inside, there's a small waiting room with beam seating, with UK-type power points and USB ports under each seat. Business and private cabin passengers can use this lounge while waiting for boarding. I'm not sure what time they open, but when I arrived here 90 minutes before my departure, I was able to enter. The lounge has some sofas, armchairs and dining tables. Since I arrived early, I had the entire lounge to myself, but it filled up quickly. The lounge offers a range of complimentary treats, including pastries, fruits, dates, tea, Arabic coffee, and bottled water. In addition, you can make yourself a cup of cappuccino using the coffee machine. When it's time for boarding, the staff will open the door that directly connects the lounge to the platform. Interestingly, rather than granting priority boarding, economy class passengers get to board first. I guess the concept behind this approach is to allow us to relax in the lounge until the boarding chaos outside subsides. It's probably not a bad idea. Riyadh North Station has 2 side platforms, and to access platform 2, we need to pass through a tunnel. The trains operating on this line were manufactured by CAF. Each set consists of push-pull locomotives located at both ends of the train, with up to 20 carriages in between. Tonight's train has 13 carriages, including 3 economy class, 1 lounge car, 1 business class, 3 sleeping cars, and the remaining carriages are designed for cargo and vehicle transport. Since all the economy class passengers are already on the train, for privacy reasons, I did not film the interior of the carriage. This is a picture from the operator's official website. The seats are arranged in a 2-2 configuration with a generous pitch of 37 inches. There's a power socket under each seat. Separating the economy and business class carriages is a lounge car. And you can purchase food from this counter. To access the menu, simply scan the QR code with your phone and a PDF will pop up on your browser. Once again, due to the same reason, I refrained from filming the business class section. The seats are in a 1-2 configuration with a comfortable pitch of 47 inches. They are all reclinable and meals are included in the ticket. These windowless carriages are car wagons that have the capacity to take around 20 vehicles. You can book the car transport service online. As I attempted to walk towards the front of the train, I was stopped by a staff member. Despite my efforts to explain what I do, I was not permitted to pass through. Unfortunately, this means I didn't get footage of the locomotive.
Can I just take a photo of the train? With your permission. Your permission.
Welcome to the private cabin carriage. Shortly after settling in, the train began its journey. These trains are specially designed for Saudi Arabia, allowing them to operate efficiently even in extreme weather conditions of up to 55 degrees Celsius. They can reach a maximum speed of 200 km per hour, which is quite impressive for a diesel-powered train of this length.
مسافرين الكرام، نستمع الآن إلى دعاء السفر المأثور عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. This message you're about to hear is a supplication that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, used to say whilst traveling. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. سبحان الذي سخر لنا هذا وما كنا له مقرنين وإنا إلى ربنا لمنقلبون. اللهم إنا نسألك في سفرنا هذا البر والتقوى ومن العمل ما ترضى. اللهم هون علينا سفرنا هذا واطو عنا بعده. اللهم أنت الصاحب في السفر والخليفة في الأهل. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من وعثاء السفر وكآبة المنظر وسوء المنقلب في المال والأهل.
Now let's have a look at the facilities on board. The train doors and the 2 toilets are in the middle, with 4 private cabins on either side of the carriage. The common areas of the train are all equipped with CCTV cameras. The toilet door can slide open, and dedicated cleaners regularly clean the toilets. While the space may be compact, they are equipped with all the standard facilities, including a mirror, sink, hand wash, paper towels, and a baby change table. This is my private cabin. It offers a sense of security with its lockable door and a peephole to check the hallway. Each private cabin has 4 beds, and the cost to book the cabin is 1,515 Saudi Riyal. The room cannot be shared with a stranger, meaning that even when traveling alone, I still had to pay for the entire cabin. The high ceiling and the absence of a luggage rack above the door makes the room feel spacious. There's a coat hook for each person, and the light switch and the train attendant call button are located here. Prior to boarding, the staff had already prepared the beds in each cabin, taking into account the number of occupants. Since I'm traveling alone, the upper berths were not lowered. Adjacent to the bed, you'll find a light switch, a reading light, a USB port, a universal power plug, and a small space for small personal belongings. Before being transformed into a bed, each lower berth can be used as 2 lounge seats, providing a comfortable space to relax. I particularly like the leather cover, as it not only adds a touch of elegance, but is also easy to clean. The window is long and massive, providing a panoramic view during the day. Above the window, there is a TV screen displaying the route map. The red dot on the map indicates the approximate location of the train between the stops, which is a brilliant feature. There is a USB port here, and you have the option to mute the onboard announcements, which can get annoying after some time.
Customers are reminded that smoking is not permitted anywhere on this train. All washrooms are fitted with smoke detectors.
There is a window blind to block the outside light completely. The table is fairly large and
نرجو الانتباه. المقابض الحمراء تستخدم في حالات الطوارئ فقط وسيتم تطبيق غرامات لمن. Thank you for traveling with Samar.
the table is fairly large, and on either side of it you'll find a power point and a USB port. Lastly, there is ample space beneath each lower berth to store a carry-on bag. My impression of this cabin is that it is absolutely modern and clean. Charging ports are everywhere. Although the train has no shower, I didn't find it to be an issue.
Customer information. This train will arrive shortly into Majmaah.
After departing from Riyadh, there are only 5 stations along this entire 1,200 km line. The first station, Majmaah, approached quickly. This is train number 39, which operates from Qassim to Riyadh. It's in a standard 9-car configuration as it doesn't have car wagons or private cabins. During the stop at Majmaah, the attendant came to each cabin and offered a meal for dinner. Despite having paid for the entire cabin, the number of meals served is based on the number of occupants. The 3-course dinner consists of a salad, a hot meal and dessert, all served in single-use plastic containers. This dish looks like butter chicken. It features a generous amount of succulent chicken pieces immersed in a flavorful and mildly spiced sauce, complemented by potatoes, carrots and green beans. For individuals with dietary requirements, it is possible to request a special meal when booking the train ticket. Although it may seem unusual to have such a substantial meal at 10:30 PM, I must admit that it was delicious. Before heading to bed, I decided to take a quick look at the lounge car. Surprisingly, there were no passengers present, only a few staff members relaxing on their phones. There are lots of bottled water on each table that are free for everyone to grab. And this is the menu of the cafe. It primarily caters to economy class passengers. There is a good selection of snacks and drinks at reasonable prices. The train is scheduled to arrive at 8:25 in the morning. It's time for me to get some rest. Each bed is provided with a thin blanket. The mattress is thick and the pillow is made of memory foam. It feels quite comfortable. The bed is a bit narrow and only just fits my entire body, but it should be sufficient for a night of rest. Good night. I had a restful 5-hour sleep, only to be awakened by a series of knocks on my cabin door at 4:25 AM. To my surprise, it was time for breakfast. After doing some research online, I realized that this early timing can be attributed to the religious practice of Muslims who are required to wake up before dawn for the morning prayer, which takes place around 1 to 1.5 hours before sunrise. Inside the box, I found a bottle of water and apple juice, 2 bread rolls, and a hot meal. The staff also gave me a cup of Arabic coffee and some dates. The hot meal features a slice of green and red capsicum, scrambled eggs, and 3 boiled potato wedges seasoned with Arabic spices. Once again, the meal was very tasty, and I really appreciate the freshness of all the ingredients used both in this dish and my dinner.
مسافرين الكرام، حمدا لله على سلامتكم. أهلا بكم في محطة الجوف. Dear customers, welcome to Jove Station. Customers with tickets destined for Jove should alight here. Please make sure you collect all your personal belongings before leaving the train. The train will be recommencing its journey shortly.
There are still 3 hours until Qurayyat, so I decided to go back to sleep. After another 2 hours, I'm finally fully awake. This rail line is truly built through the desert. Everything looks so brown. As most passengers have disembarked at the last few stations, I now have the chance to show you the business class seats. The carriage is equipped with an accessible toilet. These reclining seats are exceptionally comfortable and spacious, with a pitch of 47 inches. Every seat has a universal power plug and a USB port. Each window has 2 blinds, allowing passengers to control the brightness of their own portion of the window. It's a thoughtful design. The seats are not rotatable, so only half of them face the direction of travel. Overall, this was an enjoyable and unique journey. The train is modern, the private room is spacious, and the meals are delicious. However, it's worth noting that the temperature inside the cabin tends to be set quite low, possibly due to the cultural preference for wearing long sleeves in the Middle East. The provided blanket is thin. I'm glad that I brought a jacket with me. While the train does offer free Wi-Fi, it didn't seem to work during my trip. The mobile coverage along the route can be inconsistent. As we traveled further north, I had to wait until the train arrived at the station to regain an internet connection.
أعزائي الركاب، نود تنبيهكم على وصول القطار إلى محطة القريات. الرجاء من جميع الركاب الاستعداد للنزول حتى توقف القطار توقفا كاملا، ونحمد الله على سلامتكم.
Qurayyat is currently only served by this train once a week. Hopefully in the future, the Jordanian government could construct a direct rail link from here to Amman. Furthermore, I couldn't help but notice the striking similarity in the design of all the train stations on this line. From the interior to the exterior of the departures building, they all appear almost identical to Riyadh North Station. Qurayyat station is located 10 kilometers from the city center, and no public transport is available. Rideshare companies Uber and Carriage both claim to operate in this area, but in reality, I couldn't find a driver using either of their apps. As a result, I had to negotiate a fare of 40 Saudi Riyal with a local driver to get me to the city. Qurayyat is a small city near the border with Jordan. The El Haditha border crossing is just 30 kilometers from the city center. It is one of the largest and most important land crossings in Saudi Arabia, providing links to Jordan and indirectly to Syria, Lebanon and Turkey. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more train and flight reviews. See you all in my next video.